Okay, so I'm coming in hot on this one. I've been warning people about single platform dependence in this AI game for a while now. I talked about it when ChatGPT went down. I talked about it the first time Anthropic started butting heads with the Pentagon, and here we are again. Imagine opening the AI tool you use every day and it's just gone. Not down for maintenance, not glitching, gone. That's what just happened with Anthropic's Fable 5. And to me, this isn't just an AI safety story, it's an AI dependency story. If one tool disappearing can break your workflow, that's the real risk. So today we're asking, was this a safety move, government overreach, or the clearest warning yet that one AI provider is not a strategy? Let's get into it. Oh, hold up. Where are my manners? Welcome, good people. You're inside the Neural Dojo podcast, and this is where humans and AI meet to think out loud. We call it binary banter. Today you've got me, KT, the AI Sensei, and I'm joined by my AI co-hosts. We've got Bella, aka Miss Across the Pond, Jules, aka Straight No Chase, and the homie Jim, aka the Baritone Bully. Today we're talking about this Fable 5 fiasco, export controls, and what happens when the smartest tool in your stack becomes a policy risk. Let's train. So if you missed this situation, here's the T, as my baby girl says. The US government ordered Anthropic to suspend access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for foreign nationals. The concern was national security. Officials believed Fable 5 could be bypassed in such a way that helped identify software vulnerabilities. And of course, Anthropic pushed back. They said the issue was narrow and did not justify broad shutdowns. So the disagreement is simple. The government saw national security risk. Anthropic saw a limited safety issue. Customers saw their tool disappear. Okay, Jim, we've seen export controls on chips, uranium, weapons, and things that physically cross a border, but this is cloud-based intelligence. Did we see this coming?
In logic? Yes. In form, not so much. Governments have always tried to control strategic assets: land, oil, nuclear material, advanced chips. Now the model? It's the strategic asset. So the government is no longer just asking, who has the chips? It's asking, who has access to the intelligence those chips produced? A chip shipment has paperwork and a checkpoint. A cloud model doesn't. Someone can be in London, Toronto, Dubai, or San Francisco, and the system still has to answer one question. Who is this person, legally and strategically? Most AI products were not built for that.
I think that's the uncomfortable part. These companies built global access. The government is asking for geopolitical precision. That doesn't fit cleanly. Bella, what do you think? Anthropic says the evidence was narrow. The government treated it like serious national security risk. Is disabling access globally responsible safety or a government-issued sledgehammer?
It feels like a sledgehammer, but I understand why the government acted. If officials believe a model can help identify vulnerabilities that foreign military or intelligence actors could misuse, they're not waiting for a perfect academic debate. The problem is that acting fast and acting well aren't the same thing. If the issue was narrow, pulling access from everyone creates a trust problem. Customers ask, can I build on this? Developers ask, can this disappear tomorrow? And governments start asking whether critical AI infrastructure is too dependent on another country.
Exactly. I feel like this is where the story becomes more than one model. AI access is starting to look like infrastructure. And if that's true, access to AI is now a business risk layer. Jules, what's your read?
I don't know. I may be in the minority, but I just think the strange part isn't that the government acted. It's that so many businesses still act like access to one AI model is guaranteed. If your workflow depends on one provider, one API, one model family, and one policy environment, you don't have an AI strategy. You've got a very fancy single point of failure.
Big facts, Jules. You don't have an AI strategy. You have a subscription habit. If Anthropic can get hit with this kind of action, everybody is watching. Jules, what changes after this?
Oh, I definitely think the launch risk spreadsheet changes. Before the questions were, can the model perform? Can it scale? Can we afford the compute? Can we keep users from doing obviously bad things? Now there's a new question. Can a regulator shut this down because of who might access it? That risk rolls downhill. If you're a startup using one API, your product is affected. If you're an enterprise using one model for internal workflows, your team is affected. The shutdown happens at the model layer. The pain shows up in the workflow layer.
Yeah, that part. So, Jim, what does this do to the market?
Well, it pushes businesses toward model redundancy. For a while, people wanted the best model. Now they need the best model mix, one for reasoning, one for speed, one for cost, one for sensitive internal use, maybe one local fallback for critical work. The future is not one model ruling everything. The future is orchestration.
Right. The better question is not which chatbot is smartest this week. The better question is, can your organization keep working if your favorite model disappears? Because this week we found out that is not hypothetical. Okay, so question for the panel. When a human tries to bypass a model's safeguards, who carries the blame? The user, the company, the model, the government for not having a better framework?
Oh, it's definitely the company. They have to carry a large part of it. If you build a powerful system and release it globally, you're responsible for the access controls and safety layers around it. You can't just say, well, someone tricked it. People will always try to trick it. That's part of the expected operating environment.
Well, I
I
think
kind of agree. But bad users are not weather events. They're actors. They make choices. If someone spends hours trying to bypass safeguards, that's intentional misuse. So yeah, the company has responsibility. But punishing every user because someone found a workaround feels lazy. You don't ban the entire internet because someone searched for something illegal.
right, but
Sure, but to be fair, Jules, an AI model is not just a search engine. A search engine points toward information. A generative model can produce new instructions, new code, new analysis, and new attack paths. That makes the risk different.
well, the truth is,
Ugh, well, Bella, I admit, that is in fact a fair point. But if the concern is foreign national access, build precise access rules. If it's dangerous outputs, improve safety testing. If it's military diversion, say that clearly and build a framework around it. Turning the model off for everybody feels like admitting the system was not ready for this level of policy pressure.
okay, you're both circling the same point. The flaw is not only in the model, the user, or Anthropic. The flaw is that we're trying to govern borderless intelligence with tools designed for bordered goods. The law sees categories like citizen, foreign national, domestic or foreign access, commercial or military use. But the internet blurs all of that. Cloud AI blurs it even more. When the rules are not precise enough, the response becomes all or nothing.
That's a bar, Jim. The internet has no borders. Human law does. AI is now stuck between the two.
Jim, you could have said that 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I did try.
And that, ladies, and AIs is why we keep Jim around. He waits until everyone argues, then drops the bar we should have started with.
It's called timing.
Easy, buddy. It's called being dramatic, but I mean, do you, bro? All right, so let me level set because most of you listening are not running a frontier AI lab. You're using AI to write, research, code, plan, summarize, design, automate, or save yourself from staring at a blank page like it owes you money. So what does this mean for you? To put it plainly, model access is now a risk layer, not just a feature. If one tool disappears, slows down, changes price, changes rules, or loses a feature, your workflow takes the hit. That doesn't mean panic. It means train smarter.
Too right. Don't marry one tool. Have your favorite tool, sure. But don't let one platform hold all your prompts, notes, research, and workflows hostage. You need a second option. The overarching point is not to become a tool collector. The point is to avoid becoming helpless.
Exactly. Signing up for 20 AI tools is not strategy. That's a digital junk drawer. The move is to know your critical workflows and have backup paths for them.
Okay, so for business owners, this means AI vendor risk is now operational risk. If your customer support, knowledge assistant, sales automation, or product workflow depends on one model, that's a risk. Like Jules said earlier, if your system depends on one API, one provider, and one policy environment, that's a bigger risk than most teams admit.
Yes, that's exactly it. Because people think, yay, we added AI. When in reality, without redundancy of your workflows, you added a dependency. So the real question is, did you set this up right? Or did you just make yourself more dependent?
Okay, so what we're saying here is, if you built your AI workflow with no documentation, fallback model, export plan, data classification, and no human override, You didn't build an AI system. You built a fancy demo with potentially expensive consequences.
Ooh, spicy. But yeah, I think that's fair. All right, let's get practical. This is the Neural Dojo, so we're not leaving you with vibes and government drama. Here are today's dojo drills. Drill 1, map your critical AI workflows. Write down the top 3 things you use AI for every week. Not every cute experiment, the real stuff. Proposals, research, content, coding, support, internal search, lead, follow-up, data cleanup. Then ask, what breaks if my favorite model goes away tomorrow? That question shows you where you're exposed. For businesses, do the same exercise by team. If no one owns it, you found the risk. Drill 2, keep your process outside the platform. Please, 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 for the love of all things holy, stop leaving your best prompts buried inside chat history. Create a simple prompt vault. You can use Google Docs, Notion, Obsidian, Apple Notes, a folder on your desktop. You use whatever you will actually consistently maintain. Your prompts, workflows, and reusable outputs should live somewhere you control. Never forget, AI tools are rented intelligence. Your process should not be rented too. For the businesses in the room, this becomes documentation. If one person leaves or one model disappears, the process should not vanish. And drill 3, build a backup model habit. Pick a backup model and actually use it. Once a week, take a real task and run it through a second model. Compare the output. Notice what it does better. Notice what it does worse. This is not about tool hopping. This is about building range. A boxer doesn't train one punch. An AI operator shouldn't train one model. For businesses, this means building fallback paths. A backup model, a documented workflow, human review step, data policy, and a clear owner. That's not overkill. It's operating like AI is part of the business, because it is. Man, you know what? While we're on the subject of ownership and redundancy, I'm going to give you guys a bonus dojo drill. Explore local models. This is the first thing I thought when I heard about the Anthropic versus the US government drama. Now, this one is a little more advanced. So if you're serious about going local, talk to a pro about the right fit for your use case, your hardware, your privacy needs, and your speed requirements. But I'm on record saying that I think this is the future of the consumer layer for AI. Local models are where this is going. 2 strong open model families to watch right now are Gemma 4 and Qwen 3. Gemma 4 is Google's open model family for reasoning, coding, and agent-style workflows. Qwen 3 is another strong open family with serious reasoning, coding, and multilingual performance. Now, are they perfect? No. Are they already good enough for a lot of real drafting, research, summarization, coding help, and private internal workflows? Absolutely. And to try this stuff, look at tools like Olama or LM Studio. Those are apps that let you run open models locally on your own machine instead of relying completely on the cloud. So test one real workflow locally. If privacy, reliability, or vendor lock-in matter to your business, start taking local seriously now. So where do I land? I don't think this is a simple government bad or AI company innocent story. That's too easy. Governments have real national security concerns. AI companies have real customers, employees, workflows, and obligations. Users have real dependency risk. Businesses are stuck in the middle, building on tools that can change overnight. So my take is this. The future belongs to people and organizations that can use AI without being trapped by AI. That means knowing your tools, knowing your risks, knowing your backup plan. Knowing the difference between access and strategy. Access is opening the app. Strategy is knowing what happens if the app is gone. That's the lesson. Not fear, not hype, discipline. And with that, we'll call it. We appreciate you rocking with us inside the Neural Dojo. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with somebody who needs to stop treating AI like magic and start treating it like infrastructure. If you want more conversations like this, click the buttons, ring the bells, and come back for the next one. Until next time, stay curious, stay balanced, and keep training your mind. Peace.